a city called Chernovich, a small little town in Ukraine. Anybody here from Chernovich?
Yeah!
2 people here from Chernovich. Wow, that is amazing. It was a small little town, and their rabbi was a great, great man named Rabbi Eliezer Zusha, also called the Skulliner Rebbe. And the Skulliner Rebbe was concerned because this town was very poor. They didn't have that much food. They didn't have extra money. And it was almost Pesach. And he was worried that they wouldn't have matzah to eat. So the Skulliner Rebbe collected money and gathered some people, and together they baked a few matzos. They couldn't afford to buy and make more than that. And he made enough matzah for 1 per family in his town. So he sent out a message telling all the Jews in his town that they can come to the Rebbe's house to pick up their 1 piece of matzah for Pesach. At our Seders, we have 3 pieces on the Seder plate. We have extra boxes to eat and spread cream cheese on and dip into yummy things. We dip matzah into our soup. In Chernovich, each family got 1 piece of matzah. Except that a few days before Pesach, there was another great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Hager of Vizhnitz. The Hager family is a very prominent family. It's the last name of the Rebbe in the Vizhnitzer Hasidim. And Rabbi Hager came to the Skulliner Rebbe's house to pick up his piece of matzah, and he said, Rebbe, do you mind if I take 2? So the Skulliner Rebbe was kind of surprised because he had very clearly said that each family gets 1 piece of matzah. And here's a great rabbi who's supposed to be a nice, humble man who's asking for 2. He wants double the matzah of anybody else. But how could the Skulliner Rebbe say no to Rabbi Hager? He didn't know what to do. So finally he said, okay, I guess you can have 2. But he was still a little confused and even bothered by why Rabbi Hager seemed to be being a little bit greedy. But then a few days passed, and it was Erev Pesach. Guess who showed up at the Skulliner Rebbe's house on Erev Pesach? Rabbi Hager's son. And he knocked on the door, and the Rebbe answered. And Rabbi Hager's son said to him, my father wants to know if you saved any matzah for yourself. And the Skulliner Rebbe paused for a second, and he said, actually, I didn't. I have no matzah for my own family. And the son said, you didn't save any matzah for you and your wife and your kids? There's no more matzah in your home? And the Skulliner Rebbe said, how could I? People were coming to collect their matzahs. I didn't have enough for everybody. How could I keep for myself and say no to somebody else? I gave away all the matzah. So Rabbi Hager's son smiled and took out 1 piece of matzah and said, that's why my father asked for 2. He knew that you're so generous and you're so kind and you do so much chesed that you wouldn't even save 1 piece for yourself. My father wants to make sure that you, Rebbe, the great Skulliner Rebbe, can eat 1 piece of matzah as well. The Skulliner Rebbe was such a big tzaddik that he didn't save anything for himself. And Rabbi Hager, the Vizhnitzer Rebbe, was such a big tzaddik that he knew that the Skulliner Rebbe wouldn't save any for himself. So he took 1 extra to make sure that the Rebbe also could eat matzah on Pesach. Chag Sameach, good Yantif, good Shabbos everyone.